How's it going, Tense? Okay, next video we are going to go on to inflation, working from slides 30 to 33 from the PowerPoint Financial Maths. Okay, so inflation is very similar to your interest rate. What inflation is, it's the steady compound interest increase in consumer prices over time. So I'm sure you've heard lots of people talking about inflation and prices are increasing and stuff like that. That's what this is, okay? The inflation rate refers to the increase in prices measured against a standard level of buying power, okay? We've got something called the CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index. Now that measures the increase in consumer prices and is mainly affected by fuel and food prices. So you'll see that prices fluctuate, they go up and down. It's because of those things there. So if we look at example 1, they're saying to us, if the average inflation rate on house prices between 1980 and 1990 was 12% per annum, calculate the sale price of a house in 1990 that was purchased in 1984 for 55,000 Rand. So let's have a look. What formula are we going to use? Inflation is always compound interest. Okay, so we've got here A is equal to, P is equal to, I is equal to, N is equal to. So I know it's going to be compound interest because it's an inflation question. Okay. So let's have a look-see. So they are talking about, first of all, they're talking about, we've got a 12% per annum interest. So 12% is going to be 12 over 100. That was 12%. They're telling us that the buying price of this house initially was 55,000 Rand. Okay, so let's work out our time period here. They're telling us that this house was born in 1984. And they want to know what was the price of the house in 1990. So you've got 6 years here. Okay, and this is what we want to work out. All right, so let's work out. If you bought a house in 1984, it cost you 55,000. Let's work out what it cost you in 1990. So just plug in all your values. So A is equal to 55,000. 1 plus 12 over 100 to the power of 6. We can just put this on our calculator. And remember, grade 10s, I'm going to round off to 2 decimal places because we're dealing with money. So we got here 108,560 and 25 cents. Okay. That's the price you paid for it in 1984. This is the price that you would have paid for it in 1990. Okay, let's have a look at example 2. Example 2 is saying the global average inflation rate for cars from the year 2000 to 2010 was 2.78% per annum. Determine the purchase price of a car in 2002 that cost 210,000 Rand in 2010. Okay, so A is equal to, P is equal to, I is equal to, N is equal to. And we know it's going to be inflation, so it's compound. So let's have a look. So we've got an interest rate of 2.78%. 2.78 over 100. Okay, they are telling us determine the purchase price of a car in 2002 if this car cost 210,000 in 2010. Okay, so this is where we're starting, and we want to go back in time. Okay, so this 210,000 is not going to be our principal. It is going to be our accumulated amount, because we are going back in time. Okay, so this is the thing that we want to work out. So obviously it would have cost less amount than this, okay, if we go back in time. Now, our time period to go from 2002 to 2010 is 8 years. Okay, let's just plug everything in here. We get 210,000 equals P, 1 plus 2.78 over 100 to the power of 8. Okay, so this is a nice easy one, because all I have to do is just divide this side by this whole bracket thing here on that side to get rid of it. So that is how I'm going to do it. I'll try to get everything in the screen here. So we're going to say 210,000 divided by 1 plus 2.78 over this 100, close the bracket, to the power of 8. If everyone can see what I've done there, equals, and we get 168,636 rand, and round it off to 2 decimals. And there you go. That's what we expected. We expected a lesser amount than that. Okay, last example, grade 10s. Example 3. Example 3 is saying, estimate CPI if the price of a computer increased from 5,300 Rand to 7,700 over 4 years. Okay, so A is equal to, P is equal to, I is equal to, N is equal to. Because it's an inflation question, we're dealing with compound interest. Okay, so a computer increased from 5,300, so that's our principal, to 7,700 over 4 years. So we want to work out our CPI. Okay, let's plug everything in. So we've got here 7,700 equals 5,300, 1 plus I to the power of 4. I'm going to divide both sides by the 5,300. And we get 77 over 53 is equal to 1 plus I to the power of 4. In order to get the I on its own, I need to get rid of that first. So take the 4th root. What I do to this side, must do to this side. Okay, so we're going to take the 4th root of that answer. And we get 1,097877,068 is equal to 1 plus I. Take the 1 to the other side, it becomes a minus, so I subtract 1. And we get 0,097877,068 equals I. I multiply by 100 to get it into percent. And I'm going to round it off to 2 decimal places. So therefore I is equal to 9.79% per annum. Okay, as easy as that, grade 10s. So what I would like you to do is exercise 12.5 for me, please. Thank you.